So in terms of building that network, 'cause now, you obviously started building network while you were still in school. How did you go about building that network?
So I think at first I wasn't doing a great job of it. I was just like attending all the events, and when you're at a networking event and there's one recruiter and like 10 people standing around. Now I would never do that because I hate it. Like, it's not productive at all. But before, that's what I would do. I would just go to the event. I'd be one of the 10 people standing around the recruiter, and I just try to get my voice heard amongst that crowd. As I learned, and as they actually taught us at school how to network effectively. So as I started to learn, I actually started to make meaningful connections with people. So maybe find someone who's standing alone and talk to them one-on-one, and basically try to add value to them and express my interest in learning more about them as well. So that's what I've been doing. I used to go to quite a few networking events, especially before COVID, and it's literally just finding people that you connect with, and you never know where that what door may open from that. But I don't go in expecting that this person is going to give me a job. There's no entitlement that I have, which I think is a problem with a lot of people. A lot of people reach out to people and they assume like, okay, because I'm speaking to you, you should give me a job. And no, that's not the approach that you should take at all. So yeah, I went in with like, anything I can do for you would be like, I have these skills, I can do this for you, and if you need anything, like, I got you. And it's always turned out pretty good.
So give a specific example, like based on what you just said now. So if I'm a student, you've already highlighted that standing amongst 20 people who are trying to get the attention of one person is not effective. So if I were a student, you've said, okay, try to find one person who's standing by themselves and find how, approach them and have that conversation. But then you said something else, say, show them how you can add value. Like, give me an example. If I'm a first year student, as an example, like, what would that look like?
So one thing I did, you have to do it tactfully, because I don't know if I did the most tactfully, but there was a presenter who came into, I think it was actually at my church. Someone came to speak at my church, and they were speaking on career development and all these different things. And her slides were not nice, in my opinion. Like, they were not the nicest slides. And because, I'm young, I'm like, I can make slides nicer than this, even just using the templates on one of these platforms. So I offered after the service or after her talk to redo her slides for her and basically do them.
I'd like to hear how you phrase that, because you wouldn't walk up to her and be like, your slides are not nice.
Good point. The way that I said it was, I learned so much from this presentation. Like, it was amazing. I think it was very insightful. I think to make your message heard even more, to get your message across even better. How did I say it? Like, basically, to get your message heard even better, nicely designed slides would be great, and I would love to help you with that. Something along those lines. Like, okay, I didn't come out with like, those are ugly, redo that. But it was basically like, I think that you are amazing and we can make you even more amazing. So that's the way I went about it. She was so happy to have it done. I also did photography at the time, so I offered to redo her headshots because I was like, you're such a beautiful person. This is an older headshot. It doesn't really represent you, and it's not as professional. So because I was big on personal branding, because I learned that at school, I'm in marketing, I told her, we can elevate your personal brand, let's do this. And we did it. So, and then she was able to, because she's a career coach, she was able to connect with so many people. She even helped me with a lot of things. So yeah.
So you're already touching on some things that I'm going to be asking you much later.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to contain my excitement to get to this question. You did mention that you don't recommend unpaid internships, but I think I've actually advised some. I've done one before. I've asked people to actually look out for opportunities to do that, especially if you're getting into a role that maybe you haven't done before. You've only done a theoretical course about it, but you need an opportunity to actually try your hands at something. I have had to take those on, but if I would like to, why would you not recommend that?
Okay, so I have a very small business, right? And even I can afford, I do pay my interns, right? So I feel like if you are helping generate revenue for a company, then they should be paying you. I think it's a big privilege in order to take an unpaid internship, because it means that you can, for example, pay to get there every day without being paid. I was doing my unpaid internship, but then I was also working a part-time job so I could basically support myself. But again, I was living in my parents' house, so I didn't have to worry about rent. But imagine you're working. It depends on the hours. I was working 40 hours a week, unpaid. Yeah, exactly. I don't think it really makes sense for the majority of people. Of course, it's a good way to get experience on your resume, but I honestly think it's a big privilege. And it is how a lot of people get ahead, because the rich, basically, if you have that privilege to not be able to take an unpaid internship, then you get that experience before everyone else who cannot afford to get the unpaid internship. Yeah. So I see the value in it, but I do think the companies are taking advantage of these people, and ideally you should get paid for it. Yeah. So it's a no for me. It's a no for me.
Right.